You know that feeling when you're staring at a blinking cursor? That absolute crushing weight of a blank white page? It's arguably the most terrifying thing for anyone who creates content for a living.
Oh, absolutely. The blank page syndrome. It's where ambition goes to die. You have the idea, but the bridge between your brain and the keyboard just collapses.
Exactly. But what if I told you there's a tool, a specifically weird, slightly retro-looking tool that doesn't just help you write, but practically hallucinates the text onto your screen wherever you are? I've been playing around with this software called ZimmWriter, and honestly, it feels a little bit illegal.
Illegal is a strong word, but I get the sentiment. It feels like a cheat code. ZimmWriter has been making massive waves in the SEO and content marketing world, mostly because it defies the current business model of AI. It's not some slick monthly subscription website. It's a desktop application.
Right, that was the first thing that struck me. I downloaded it, and the interface, well, let's be honest, it looks like something from Windows 98. It's gray, it's boxy, but then you pop the hood, and it's like finding a Ferrari engine inside a beat-up Honda Civic.
That is the perfect analogy. And that beat-up Honda aesthetic is actually a strategic choice by the developer, Matt Zimmerman. By stripping away the fancy web animations and the bloated user interface, the software focuses entirely on speed and functionality. But the real game changer here isn't how it looks. It's how you pay for it.
This is the part that confused me at first. With most AI tools, I pay maybe $50 or $100 a month for a credit limit. With ZimmWriter, I had to go get my own API key from OpenAI. Can you explain why that matters? Because to the average person, that sounds like technical gibberish.
It sounds intimidating, but it's actually the secret to why this tool is so disruptive. Think of it this way. When you subscribe to a standard AI writing service, you are essentially paying for a taxi. You pay a premium because they own the car, they hire the driver, and they handle the gas. You just sit in the back.
Okay, I follow. I'm paying for convenience.
Exactly. But with ZimmWriter, you are buying the car outright the software, and then you're going directly to the gas station OpenAI to fill it up yourself. The API key is just your credit card at the pump. Because you cut out the middleman, you are paying wholesale prices for the words. You could write a novel for the price of a cup of coffee.
That is wild. I checked my balance after generating like 10 blog posts, and I think I spent 12 cents. It almost feels like the system is broken, but in my favor. But let's talk about the actual usage. The feature that blew my mind wasn't the blog writer, it was the magic command.
The magic command is the bread and butter of the power user.
I was in a Word document, not a browser, actual Microsoft Word, and I highlighted a sentence like, write an email to my boss explaining why I'm late, hit a keyboard shortcut, and boom, the text just started appearing. It felt like a ghost took over my keyboard.
That's the write anywhere philosophy. Because ZimmWriter lives on your operating system, not in a browser tab, it can interact with anything. Notepad, email, Slack, your coding environment. It breaks the barrier of, I have to go to the AI website to get help. Instead, the AI comes to you.
It creates this flow state where you don't have to context switch. You don't have to alt-tab away from your work. But I have to play devil's advocate here. If it's this easy, if I can just highlight a header and say, write 5 paragraphs about the history of coffee, are we just flooding the internet with garbage?
That is the million-dollar question. And frankly, yes, a lot of people will use tools like this to flood the internet with garbage. ZimmWriter has features like the bulk blog writer that can churn out hundreds of articles in minutes. If you are lazy, you will produce lazy content.
Right, just because you can print 1,000 pages doesn't mean anyone wants to read them.
Precisely. However, the counter-argument is that this tool raises the baseline. If you are a smart creator, you stop being a writer and start being an editor-in-chief. You use ZimmWriter to build the skeleton, to do the heavy lifting of research and drafting. Then, you come in and add the soul. You add the anecdotes, the nuance, the human touch.
So it's a force multiplier. It doesn't replace the human, it just gives the human a bionic arm.
A bionic arm equipped with a encyclopedic knowledge of the entire internet. and we have to talk about the depth of the features. It's not just write this. It allows for SEO optimization, where you can feed it specific keywords, and it naturally weaves them in. It can scrape data from specific URLs to make sure the content is factual.
That scraping feature is huge. I fed it a link to a technical product page and asked it to write a review. It actually knew the specs. It wasn't hallucinating, it was reading.
And that solves one of the biggest issues with large language models, the knowledge cutoff. Usually, AI doesn't know what happened today. But by allowing ZimmWriter to read a live URL, you bridge that gap. You're combining the reasoning power of the AI with real-time data.
It's impressive, but it's also a little overwhelming. The software updates constantly. I feel like every time I open it, there's a new button. Penny Arcade, SEO blog writer, local buffet. The naming is eclectic.
It's chaotic good. It reflects the developer's personality. Matt Zimmerman is very active in his community. It doesn't feel like a corporate product where updates happen once a quarter after a board meeting. It feels like a guy in his garage saying, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if it did this?" and then coding it overnight.
There's something charming about that. It reminds me of the early internet. It's scrappy. But let's zoom out for a second. We're talking about a tool that runs locally on Windows. Does this signal a shift away from cloud everything?
I think it signals a shift toward privacy and control. There is a growing segment of users who are tired of subscriptions. They are tired of their data living on someone else's server. While ZimmWriter still sends data to OpenAI to get processed, the interface and your files are yours. Plus, the cost efficiency is undeniable.
It really does come back to the cost. When the barrier to entry drops this low, when writing 5,000 words costs pennies, what happens to the value of the written word?
That's the philosophical cliff edge we're standing on. When supply becomes infinite, value usually drops. But I think generic writing loses value. How to tie articles. Those are commodities now. But perspective, voice, opinion, those become more valuable.
Because the AI can mimic style, but it can't replicate lived experience.
Exactly. ZimmWriter can write a story about climbing Mount Everest in the style of Hemingway, but it has never felt the cold. It has never run out of oxygen. That distinction is where the future of human writing lives. We provide the oxygen, the reality, and let the AI handle the grammar and structure.
I love that. We provide the oxygen. So for the listeners out there who are maybe struggling with a blog or marketing copy, or even just writing difficult emails, is this a must-buy?
If you are on Windows and you are willing to learn a slightly clunky interface to save hundreds of dollars and hundreds of hours, yes. It's the most powerful tool you can buy for a one-time price right now. Just don't expect it to do the thinking for you.
It's a bicycle for the mind, but you still have to pedal.
And steer. Definitely steer, or you'll end up off a cliff of hallucinated facts.
Laughs. Fair warning. It's fascinating to see how tools like ZimmWriter are democratizing access to this level of intelligence. It used to be you needed a dev team to harness GPT-4 like this. Now, you just need a Windows PC and $10 for an API key.
It's the industrial revolution of text. We are moving from hand-weaving sentences to operating looms. The fabric is still beautiful, but the process has changed forever.
That is a powerful image to leave us with. The loom of language is sitting on your desktop. The question is, what tapestry are you going to weave with it? Are you going to clutter the world with noise, or use that speed to create something profound?
That's the choice. The tool is neutral. The intent is yours.
A huge thanks to everyone listening. If you've been using AI tools, ask yourself, are you the driver or just a passenger? We'll catch you in the next episode.
Keep writing. Or keep prompting.
Laughs. Take care, everyone.